r/TIFU. Buying everyone an Ancestry DNA, Kitten ruining Christmas. Posted by user Snorkels721. Earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it would be a great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave my mom, dad, brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids need to take it since we will all have the same results, and to resell extra kits to save money. Fast forward, our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who has a different dad. TLDR, I bought everyone in my family Ancestry DNA kits for Christmas. My mom started freaking. Now our parents are fighting and my dad might not be my dad. Update, thank you so much for all the love and support. My sisters, brother and I have not yet decided if we are going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we will still love each other and our parents no matter what. Update 2, Christmas isn't ruined. My F-up actually turned into a Christmas miracle. Turns out my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget. And yes, we are all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas everyone. P.S. Sorry my mom isn't a whore. No, you're not my daddy. Living in a dark bedroom for 6 years. Posted by user Moby323. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely aglow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great. It literally is the best fan I've ever had, because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb, grab the remote, the fan has a remote, and as I'm turning the light on I realize the goddamn thing is dimmable. For 6 effing years, we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light, and the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. F me. TLDR, for 6 years I lived with no bedroom light, because the overhead lamp was broken, but turns out it was fine and it was just set to a dim setting the whole time. Spending the last year on Reddit talking to myself after being muted. Posted by user Buffja. Today was the day I realized I messed up by not realizing sooner and just thinking my content was shit. For the last 12 months I've been commenting on people's posts. I've created my own posts. I haven't had a single upvote or reply to anything. My karma has been at 885 for as long as I can remember, so I just figured I wasn't very interesting, still likely true. Last month I started to try and see my own posts through guest accounts and figured out they weren't showing. I could still clearly see my comments and posts on my account. Anyway, I finally mailed the help team and found out my IP was accidentally mixed in with some action to take out spammers. If you can see this, it's all sorted now, and if you can't, I'm still in my own little Truman show. If you're procrastinating, and let's face it, you are, feel free to go through my post history and verify the lack of any human engagement. TLDR, I was muted 1 year ago and didn't notice. Since then I've spent the whole time thinking how boring I must be because nobody replies or upvotes me. Slanty face. Edit. So I've gone from castaway to a forum of people handing me little arrows. Wilson and I thank you. Edit 2. This is crazy. Thanks to everyone for all the jewels and things I know nothing about. I'll figure it out and pay it forwards. Special thanks to those that are answering my unanswered questions from previous posts, MVPs. Please don't be too sad about this, I find it's kind of funny that I've been such an idiot for so long. It's okay to laugh with / at me. Smiley face. Edit 3, Reddit is awesome. I've missed you guys. Don't feel mad at the mods, it's a tough and thankless job and flooders / bots are a real pain in the ass. It's just one of those things and I thank them for putting in the hours. I also want to use this very brief soapbox to raise awareness for mental health. Most of us here use Reddit as an escape. Some people here have fewer friends in real life than they do on the net. Make sure each other are okay every once in a while, if someone goes missing, like for more than a month. If you see someone struggling, send them a message of support, even a stranger can help. I love all of you weirdos. Heart. I have officially branded myself as the biggest perv, and I 100% deserve it. Posted by user to A1234123491121. This is his now ex-wife. Did he not realize, or too dumb to remember, we share everything, including the same Reddit app? I logged on to see this throwaway as the default login account. I've removed all of this personal story for my family's protection and changed this account's password. Although it might be too late and already circulated online. I took a look through the comments and was seriously disgusted by most of the responses suggesting to sexually approach both of us last night. Which my sister did mention he tried something in the middle of the night. This guy is incredibly living in another world. I'm only posting this to reassure everyone thinking he got away with it, that these types of scumbags do not. I came home yesterday with my sister to pack my shit. I saw his update saying I seemed alright, but I was keeping it in for the next morning. Reason we slept in the living room is because I didn't want him to see my bags in the corner of the bedroom. He came home suddenly before I finished packing. It wasn't fun camping or a picnic. This morning, before he woke up, we grabbed the rest of my stuff and left. I went to the bank and froze our joint account before he responsibly starts taking cash out. I'm not seeing him anymore, going to lawyer up, give away all this Reddit gold to the comments that I feel were actually reasonable, and divorce his ass. Oh, and if you can read this, I've deleted the tracking app, winky face. My lawyer will call you to unfreeze your share and take the steps to you and link me from any other tracking apps you might have on me. TLDR, his life is ruined. I saw this post before the original post was edited. Can you please explain? This happened an hour ago, and I'm still shaking in fear about how my life will now become from now on. There's two situations that leads to the conclusion of the F up. First situation, asked sister-in-law to borrow her 360 pocket camera for a trip, wife and I assume vacationing too. Found out the memory card still had content. Her husband travels a lot, and she made a 1-hour point of view style 360 porn video, assuming sent to him a while back. I've had the hots for her for the past 8 years. Before she got married and there were several times sexual tensions aroused between the two of us. Living together for a year as strictly roommates, movies, dinners, getting drunk while watching movies, just the two of us, breakfasts, etc. A certain trust, or test, was implemented and nothing ever happened between the two of us, as at the time I was dating my now wife, which was working at a distance. But damn it, at the time, if she just had touched my hand once back then, I think I would have lived a whole different life. So finding this video, I thought I struck gold. I could have what I've always fantasized about, gifting my past self, while living my happy current life. Second accident, I have an automated house that lights up the house with geolocation. Before the app worked with Apple HomeKit, a third-party app needed to be downloaded which tracks your family and friends. Free version only allows you to add one person, so my wife and I have had this app for 3 years now, even if it's useless now after an app update a couple years back on the original app. We never deleted it since it was so useful for tracking each other using notifications. I get a notification when she's at work, and when I arrive at work, we also both get notifications when one arrives home. Good for times where she does groceries, for example, and I get a notification to prompt me to go out and help her out. Or when I work late and finally leave the office, prompting her to set up the dining table. Last night she fell asleep without charging her phone. I hate when she does that. Today she goes to work with barely any battery. What if she needs to call the police or hospital for an emergency? I had the day off today. Today was the day I do that deed. I don't only go with simple 360 video, but literally set it up on my VR headset in bed with AirPods on. The whole experience. This would have lasted me tops 5 minutes. But the play she does is long and boring. Then the action starts and I go on. Wife's phone didn't give a notification as she arrived, because of her now dead phone. She comes to the bedroom to see me masturbating in bed with VR goggles on. She knows I masturbate occasionally but never saw me do it. I sneak it in here and there. But VR porn was never discussed as an "is it cheating if" thing. You know the conversation I'm talking about. Is it cheating if you have a sex doll? Is it cheating if it's a robot? Is it cheating if you put a pleasure toy on and someone from across the internet strokes you in real time? Etc. It was the type of conversation we'd have at the very start of our relationship when we were still friends 10 years ago, to see how far one could take it. Weird, I know, but let's say it was one of these pre-game conversations to see if we're on the same page before things started getting serious. Pre-game conversation were not only about sex, by the way. Anyways, VR wasn't a thing back then, so was never discussed. So I never knew if it was right or wrong for me to do so. I guess it was wrong, since she rushed in and ripped the goggles from my face. That's when I see her in the room. "The duck," she says. Then she looks inside. "Is that my sister?" I'm screwed. She still had her shoes on from arriving. So she just grabbed her bag with the VR headset and left the house. Seeing from the tracking app, she's at her parents' house, which are neighbors of the sister-in-law. I'm screwed. TLDR, masturbated in VR with sister-in-law's 360 porn video, got caught in the act, now feeling out-of-body experience and don't know what's going to happen. Just in case OP realizes that posting this story was another F-up. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and comment your thoughts. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well.